You're listening to Sorry for Asking.
Sorry for asking. I'm Cole Connor.
And I'm Adam Ramzi. This is where we talk shop, ask questions,
Tell stories, and laugh some laughs about being creators.
as well as consumers of adult content. We love watching too.
We certainly do. We also discuss the impact adult films have had on us
On our guests.
and on the LGBTQ community.
So strap on and strap in.
And here we go. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
It's Sorry for Asking. I'm Cole Connor.
I'm Adam Ramzi. Hi, Cole.
Hi.
How's it going? Long time no see.
Long time no see, right? I know.
Episode 6, season 3. Here we go.
And we have, let's just get to it.
Let's
we
get
have
to it.
An amazing guest today. He's been around for a good amount of time.
We've all jacked off to him and stuff.
You've seen him in gay porn. You've seen him in straight porn. Or at least I have. You've seen him. You've seen him on. He directs for kink.com. And yeah, he's been a performer for a long time. He's done a lot of shit. It's Christian Wilde.
Woohoo! Hi, Christian.
Relax. That's a little much.
Oh, come on. You deserve it. You deserve
Please,
that and
please,
more. Oh, yes, yeah.
people.
Hold your applause.
Hold your applause
You're embarrassing me, people.
How you doing, Christian?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for
asking.
coming. You got here from Vegas today?
Correct.
That is where you live now?
Yes.
Cool. How's living in Vegas these days?
It's
That's
great.
kind of a recent thing, yeah?
A couple years.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Cool.
home now.
Okay.
I love it. It's a weird place, but we're weird people, so we fit.
Indeed.
Yeah.
You live in one of the residential areas?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Did you move there when you started directing for Kink?
Well, I moved out of Northern California, and I was like 2 hours away from an airport, and so lots of travel was very inconvenient.
Yeah, when we
And-
filmed, that was the situation.
Exactly. Yeah, it was like a whole process to get down anywhere. And so now it's very nice being either in a place where I don't have to go anywhere anymore, or I'm like this 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
You know, it takes me half hour to get to the airport.
Was that Hercules?
No, that was even further away than Hercules.
Was it?
Yeah. God,
'Cause
I forget that you fucking have known me for that long.
I've known you a long time. I think
Yeah.
I came over twice.
Yes.
I don't remember because I lived in San Francisco at the time that you and I met.
I'll tell you a secret. You're the only man I've ever taken on a date.
Oh my God. Did everyone hear that?
You were the first man that I considered. I was like, can I be in an actual relationship with a guy?
Wow.
Because this motherfucker's
Holy
pushing
shit.
my
What
buttons
the
right
fuck?
now.
I'm like flush right now. All right. Well, thank you for telling me that.
Yeah,
I do remember our date. So Cole, I'll tell you the story and everybody else briefly. So Christian was my 5th ever porn studio scene, and it was at Raging Stallion, and we just like clicked. We just connected. It was real. We got real sweet on each other.
Very good chemistry.
I know I do that a lot.
Yeah,
It's kind of one of my
it's your
things.
MO.
I like getting sweet on my co-stars. It doesn't always happen, especially after that first year. I realized you were actually the last one.
Yeah.
The next time I filmed, it was the first time that I remember like just having absolutely nothing between me and my scene partner. I was like, this is just going to be for the cameras. And the funny thing is, Steve Cruz actually said to me that day, he was like, this is your best work. And I found out later from one of the grips, the reason that he said that is because sometimes when there's chemistry between performers, it actually gets lost for the studio cameras. Like,
Because you're not focusing on what...
we're not focusing on like, looking good on the camera and making sounds. We were like,
Show me that penetration.
We were like lost in each other's eyes and having a wonderful time. And then I want to say since then have worked together like maybe 6 or 7 times. But enough about me. I want to get into, first of all, the beginnings of Christian Wilde. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in the Bay Area.
You did grow up in the Bay Area. Okay.
In the East Bay.
Nice. And how do you identify, first of all?
I don't.
You don't. Love that.
I don't really. It's an annoying question at this point. I've gotten it a lot.
I'm sure you got it a lot then.
I did.
And you probably get it a whole different way now that we have very different terminology for it.
Correct.
But you don't like it.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't even want to talk. I mean, like, I'll talk about it.
I mean, you
but,
could talk
when
about why
people
you
are
don't
like,
want to talk about it.
Tell me about your sexuality. And I'm
Sure.
like, no thanks. Like, it's...
What is it about it that gets you? Just to tell, just educate us and the audience about what it is.
That it's wrong always. Somebody always has an opinion about whatever you are. And
they think that you don't have it figured out.
Let me actually tell you about
Tell you what you
your
are.
sexuality.
Yes.
And fuck off with
Yeah,
that.
that's annoying.
I feel like it's a common thing for people to want to put us in boxes that make them comfortable.
Yeah.
But I also think that fluidity is kind of the future, and you were sort of like a pioneer in that. You were early era.
Yeah.
You didn't give any fucks.
No.
But
I'm very fortunate in that way, yeah.
you're very good at it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I practice.
So, okay, cool. Are you comfortable kind of telling us about your, like, at least your sexual development and that led you to
100%.
being in porn with
100%.
men? Okay,
Yeah, I think,
cool. Give us a little rundown.
So I had a few experiences with men when I was younger.
Okay.
And I didn't view them as anything traumatic or, I never had any experiences that led me to feel like negative emotion towards, being gay or homosexual or bisexual or anything. So I never had any connotation linked to it, and I did have like kind of a predatory experience with a 34-year-old guy when I was 16. But at the same time, I'm 16, and any male will tell you at 16 you are so filled with testosterone, you're so fucking horny all the time, you're just a little animal, just fun to fuck everything. So I definitely had I played a part in it.
Yes. I have a similar story. That's funny.
And so fast forward to 18 years old, and I am straight and actively chasing women and trying to, in my personal life, just strictly have sex with women. And I got it linked into Craigslist, and down a rabbit hole found a guy that wanted to just film me jack off. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. That's not a problem. And it paid well. And I was like, fucking, I'm fresh out of high school. I don't have a job. I need money. I'm living in my mom's house. And I show up to do that. And it was a weird guy's house, and I walked
It
in.
always is.
Where
It
was
always
it?
is.
Where
In the East Bay.
it was? Okay.
Yeah. And we met at a mall, and I was like, don't kill me. And, he took me back to his house and had a camcorder set up, and he was going to go behind the camera, and I was like, you can't go behind the camera. You can't be in here while I'm doing this. That's going to be weird.
Oh, I see.
And he was like, oh, you want me to go upstairs? And I was like, that'd be great. Do that.
Oh, wow.
And he was like, oh, okay. And he went upstairs, and so I jerked off, and he comes back downstairs, and I'm pulling my pants up, and he goes, that's really nice. I'm like, thanks. And he goes, can I touch it? And
You're like,
I
that
was
costs
like,
extra.
are you going to pay me more? And he was like, I'll give you another 200. And I was like, have at it,
Yeah.
And he literally just kind of gave me a feel up and was like, cool, thanks. And, $500 in the pocket. And I'm like, now I have zero problem with doing this for money.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I led into the adult industry, is I just kept looking for more and more jobs like that. And I was an escort for a year almost before I ever even had a studio gig.
What was that experience like?
Way better.
It was better than what?
The studio experience was way better because I made more money and I got to have sex with hotter people.
Oh, I meant the escorting.
Oh, the escorting. The escorting.
So you're
was
saying studio work was better than escorting?
100%.
Gotcha,
The
of
escorting,
course.
I still escort, and I have a very special place in my heart for in-person sex work. Because I think that it is a very, it should be talked about more, how much more special it is to people than just sex.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us about it a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
tell
we're
us.
we're going multiple different
Yes.
subject matters here.
I'll,
very
I'll,
quickly.
I'll keep us in thread. Don't worry.
Sexuality, escorting,
Yeah.
just jumping around.
We're learning all about you.
It's only an hour show.
We got to make it quick, huh?
We got this. We got this. Trust.
Okay, so escorting it's a really beautiful relationship because you get to have something authentic with someone without experiencing the same sort of anxiety and worry about what people think about you, and that same courting dance that you're doing with people on a day-to-day basis, it doesn't apply when you're paying someone. And now all the guise of like who I'm trying to be or who I want you to see me as is gone. And now you can just be an authentic person with someone. I can't tell you how many times I've been booked with people and just talked to them.
Yeah.
And just had authentic, real conversations.
Right.
Because they want somebody to listen, and they want somebody to be engaged, and they want somebody to feel like
Be
they
present.
matter.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a valuable thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with paying someone for that.
Totally.
Especially if you don't have it in your life. You know, and I've helped people like to break through sexual barriers that they've had. Like, sex work is a valuable thing for people when it comes to getting through things in their life or utilizing it to just, you know, find out new things about themselves. It's a safe place to explore. It's a safe place to ask questions and try new things and not worry about your relationship or what somebody else might think, you know?
You never go somewhere you're like, oh God, I hope this guy just comes fast and get the fuck out of here.
100%, yes. There's that too.
Of course.
Yeah, no,
It's
you
very
made it sound like, oh, I have this beautiful relationship.
No,
with
and
them.
sometimes it's terrible.
No,
sometimes
sometimes,
it's genuinely terrible because
For
the
sure.
person that is paying you is very unattractive.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that
Or
in a mean
unpleasant.
way. Or
Sometimes,
unpleasant.
yeah.
Or in, you know, multiple things going on at once.
Yeah.
Or you just get there and they attack, like, just get right to it. And you're like, calm down.
Yeah.
No, that's fine too. Like, you're paying me for the experience. You're
Yeah.
paying for my time.
Yeah.
Always. Like,
Right.
that's how I view it. And I view that even, like, sex work taught me that early.
Yeah.
Very, very clearly. Like, one of the first times I ever got booked to fly somewhere, I was flipped out. And I was
yeah.
like, somebody's going to pay to fly me down to Southern California, spend the night, and then fly me home.
Yeah.
Just my time and my company.
Right.
Blew my mind. But a guy picked me up at Burbank in a Range Rover. We go up to the Hollywood Hills. We're in a mansion. I mean, a fucking mansion.
Wow.
Like, piano in its own room type of mansion, floor to ceiling windows.
Nice.
All alone. Just the two of us. And all that guy wanted to do was talk.
Wow.
That's all he wanted was just to hang out and have an experience. And he was like some Hollywood dude, some movie executive, and he was like, everybody wants something from me.
Yeah.
Everybody wants something that I can give them, or I have, like, they don't want me for me. They want me for what I can do for them.
Yeah.
None of my relationships are real. None of them have value. I just
Wow.
want authenticity. And I was like, it shattered my world, because I was like, up at that point, I was like, success, money, wealth, power, material success, all, above all. That's the thing to chase.
Right.
And then he fucking wiped it off the table in front of me. And I was like, this guy just needs friends.
Yeah. Wow.
Friends are
Amazing.
like what make people happy.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about your house or your shit.
Right.
It's about your friends, honestly.
Yeah.
Every single time.
So what was the transition from doing in-person sex work to on camera like? Like, did somebody find you and say like, hey, we want to, bring you to this studio?
I
Was it?
escorted for the owner of a major studio.
Uh-huh. Got it. Okay. Wink, wink.
Oh.
Okay, cool.
No, I mean, and
So-
it's not, I don't want to, like, I'm not throwing anybody under the bus.
Yeah,
here,
no,
but
no.
it was a great way to actually get me into it, because
Yeah.
when I met him, I was like, what do you do for a living? Same standard shit. And he's like, I'll tell you afterward.
Uh-huh.
And then he showed me the website, and I was like, oh, I could do this.
I'm going to guess I know who it was.
Probably.
Yeah, right.
But I was
Just
going to
have to
be,
look up your earliest scene. Huh?
I was going to be fucking guys
Yeah.
that were my age,
Yeah.
not 67.
Right.
And, not that that's an issue.
Sure.
Again, don't cancel me. Don't
No,
be mad at me.
certainly different.
It's just they're hotter.
Yeah.
You know they're hotter. I
Yeah,
know they're
that's
hotter.
the point. Yeah.
And the money paid better.
Yeah.
I got to travel.
Right.
It was fucking great. My
Yeah.
early 20s was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It was a lot of, like, sex-filled travel with lots of crazy adventures and,
If I remember
Oh,
correctly,
it's great.
I think I asked you one time back then if you had worked with straight studios at all.
Yeah.
Did you ever try that? I feel like
I never even, I mean,
You never did.
I kind of gave it like an attempt, and they were like, oh, we pay like $250 and you have to be in town.
and
I
you
was
have
like,
to
never mind. Just
yeah.
kidding.
So you never did it.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, at the time we were getting like $700, $800, $900 a scene.
At least.
At least.
Yeah.
And this, the comparison just wasn't there. And
Right.
then I think I did, like, a couple of years in, I did a straight scene, and I was like, this is fucking garbage.
They just treat you like a prop, right?
100%.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, what? You don't want to be here? Get the fuck out there. Like,
Wow.
Like, we don't need you. We'll go get one out of the bin in the back. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Okay,
It
so
was crazy. The difference was night and day
Yeah.
between how you got treated on a gay set versus a straight set. It was night and day.
right.
You don't make the fucking money there. So
Right.
everybody knows it, and now you're just an expendable commodity, you know?
Well, growing up, what kind of porn did you watch?
MILF.
MILF porn.
Straight up MILF porn, yeah, all day.
Wow.
I've been into MILF since a very young teenage man.
Was there a favorite that you remember? A name that
Sarah J.
Sarah J.
Yeah.
Cole, anything?
Yeah, big Sarah J.
Sound
fan.
familiar?
I don't remember the girls' names. I don't
Vanessa-
remember the
I mean-
You remember the guy's names?
Yeah. Vanessa Blue was
I gotta
another one.
I gotta type them in and search for
100%.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had some favorites.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you ever into the guys?
No, honestly, like going back to the sexuality thing, I didn't start becoming okay with like the fact that I was into guys even, or like the first few years of my career really fucked with me because
Oh, really?
I went in as a straight guy and I think all I like is women, but I'm able to have sex with men. So does that make me gay? Like the mind fuckery of it was a lot, especially as a young guy,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm so influenced by what my peers think of me, my friends, what they say about it, you know. At that point I hadn't told my family yet.
Right.
There was so much going on around the sexuality aspect of it, and you know, all these people know me as this, you know, kind of straight fucking, you know, masculine man. What does that mean for that?
Yeah.
There was all these questions that came up, and then eventually I went through like a dip of it and then right back out to level where it was like, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
Like what you like.
Right.
When did you realize you liked like kink, BDSM stuff?
Probably not until like a year or two into doing it, honestly. Like it was the same thing with exposure to it from being, they were in San Francisco, I was 30 minutes away. So we'd have scene cancellations and they'd call me last minute, can you come in and fill in? And I was out there all the time.
Yeah.
And so I got exposed to it, whereas in my daily life, I would have never like went and looked for it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, we worked together a couple times for kink.com at the Armory. I think you were my first.
I trained you, yeah.
Well, that was the second, and that's going to be very. That's, you know, I like watching a lot of these scenes, but participating, like, it was a little difficult. Like, working with Van Darkholm, who was like sadistic in one way, and then Sebastian Keys, who was sadistic in a whole different way. Like, there were a couple scenes that were really, really difficult for me. In fact, I feel like the one I did with you, where you were the dom, I was the sub, was the easiest day to get through.
Yeah.
And I have a story from that day that I want to share too. But then they were kind of like, well, Christian and Adam have like a good relationship. Maybe we'll do this thing where Christian trains Adam as a dom. So we had this kid. I had never heard of him before. I've never heard of him since.
Doug Aker.
Not very bright. Very cute. Weirdly large dick for how short he was.
Just a dumbass.
But the thing is, I'm sorry if you're listening, Doug. I doubt you are. But like, that was such a hard day for me. I don't know if you remember. You were super kind. You were awesome. But like, I really struggled that day because I felt like they kept asking me to do stuff that didn't feel natural. And I feel like the kink relationship is really about connecting. And I remember there's actually a picture of it. I wish I put it up, but there was one scene, the first scene you and I did, you pretty much like tied me up and you grabbed me by the face and you came up to me and you said, "You're mine, do you understand?" And I just shattered into a million pieces. I was like, this I could do. So when they were like, let's train you to be a dom, they're like, okay, now grab this flogger, do it like this, and each time you do it, make a louder noise. Like, be like, ugh! Like, and I was just like, this is all fake. And you were like taking a break, and each time I hit him, he would like get upset because we were not connecting at all. I feel like a sub needs to kind of trust a dom to like let their body feel it a certain way.
That must be hard though if you're not really that into it.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like this kid was like not trusting me as a dom, which makes total sense.
Yeah, 'cause
I didn't
you
know what
just
the
met.
fuck I was doing. I did it. Well, no, I mean, you could still meet and like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think he trusted Christian fine.
I mean, I trusted you. We did some light stuff.
Very, yeah.
Very light.
the thing is, it suits you. You enjoy that kind of play, don't you? Okay, this is how the sausage gets made, y'all.
I fall into it well.
Great, good answer.
I fall into it very well. I do identify with. It is not all that I am.
Okay.
I get worried sometimes that people see me and they see my social media persona, and they have this immediate idea that I am this person that I am not. And domination does not need to look a certain way. It doesn't
Totally.
need to be a certain way. There's so many different variations, but you are very on the money when it is not authentic. It is very clear to
Yeah.
everyone involved
Yep.
that it is not authentic.
Yeah,
And that fucks with the process a lot.
right.
When it is not real, I literally canceled a scene yesterday, mid-scene,
Oh.
because of this.
Tell us about it. What happened?
The dom didn't have it.
He didn't
It
have
was
it.
the wrong pair of shoes. And it's nothing against the person. It is nothing
course.
against the person personally. It's just you don't have it. You don't have what we need
Yeah.
for this kind of content.
For sure.
And, when you're talking about making content versus when you're talking about play, those are two different
Totally
worlds
different things. You're
entirely
right.
as well.
You're absolutely right.
So when you're doing something for a camera or when you're doing something, for the experience is
Yeah.
also two different.
Right.
Also, when, in-person sex work, somebody needs to be able to trust you
Yes.
when they say, I want you to hurt me, but go to a certain level and don't go past that.
Yeah.
So I've gotten to hone these things. It's like anything else. You get better with practice.
For sure.
And so over the last 15 fucking years, I've been beating the hell out of people. So I've gotten pretty good at it.
Yeah.
And it is in my personality. I do consider myself to be a strong. I hate the fucking word. Like I don't ever think of myself as alpha
Right.
because it's obnoxious. And
That
I
word's
think
come up a lot here, yeah.
It's been taken over.
We don't like
Yes.
it either.
But I like alpha energy.
Yes.
And I like alpha men.
Right.
And I think that there's a place for it. But I also think that you do that with respect and you do that with, control and discipline. And there's a lot of other things that I am other than just dominant or other than just
Yeah, I mean, like I
a
think
fucking force.
I think a
you
lot-
know?
I think-
I'm gentle too.
Yeah.
I cry and I'm soft and I'm sensitive and I like girly music and stuff. And so I get worried that people think like, be careful of that guy or he's like some tough badass
No.
because he plays with leather and stuff. That's just, that's a moment of a person, and
I
if
think
you've
you're
got
pretty-
it in, you can access it and then put it away type of a thing.
I think you're pretty good at portraying exactly what you're describing in your social media. I know social media doesn't represent everything, but
Okay,
I feel
good.
like you're pretty good at showing that like that's a facet of who you are, but like that you're also kind
I've
of
told so
kind
many
of a
times I
goof
thought
and-
that you were going to be different.
Really?
When I meet people, they're like, I thought you were going to be way different.
Well, I think there are people out there that publicly say they're alphas and focus just on that, and it's about like
It's like a
beating,
huge-
it's like about like beating people down and being better than like other men.
Yeah.
and I think that's what's annoying about
And that
it.
is not it.
And
Right.
that's not
That
it.
just ruins everything.
Yeah.
That's not it.
It's
Right.
gross.
It's authentic. It's what you're talking about is the connection, the authenticity of the relationship and
Yeah.
the power exchange that happens between two people when they're playing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to capture now as a director, and it took me a while to learn that that's the thing. It's not the leather, it's not the flogger, it's not the paddle, it's not the cane or the clamps or whatever the fuck goofy thing we're using for the day.
Yeah.
It's the power exchange between the two.
Right.
It's that connection and that chemistry that happens, and what the dynamic change is
Yeah.
between a normal human day-to-day interaction to now, I own you. I have your power, and you're giving it to me mutually. It's this mutual respect thing where you're giving me power and I'm taking it from you at the same time.
Yeah.
I could go on for a lot longer than an hour about
I mean-
BDSM by itself.
We got time. But how many scenes have you directed now?
Not that many. I only
Okay.
started in November.
Okay,
and
cool.
so I think it's been less than 10.
Okay, and you're enjoying it?
I love it. I love it. It's the hardest thing in my adult industry career that I've done by far.
Really?
100%. Yeah.
How's that?
Well, we're not shooting vanilla porn. You know, there's a lot more writing on
Yeah.
people's safety, people's consent, people's limits.
Right.
You know, my reputation is now on the line for if goes bad, this is a Christian Wilde shoot.
Right.
You know, and that way I take that very seriously. So, you know, doing a good job, it's going to be out on the internet forever, and it's going to have my name on it.
Yeah.
And I want it to be fucking good.
Yeah.
I've never wanted to be, you know, when it's other companies making the thing, it's like, give me my fucking check, I'll go home.
Right.
You know
They're
what I
kind
mean?
of just farting out stuff.
Right.
Like
Now this is mine. Like, I'm putting a signature on a piece of art that I made, and I'm sending it out for people to look at. And
it's a great perspective.
so the responsibility factor has increased by a lot. And there's a lot of, you know, non-work hours work that has to get done as far as like finding models and communicating with them and researching scene ideas and looking at rope stuff and bondage stuff, and
Right.
it's just a lot of moving things.
Yeah. This is like an amazing step in your like daddy evolution, I feel like. And in fact, if you don't mind my asking, if I remember correctly, you took a pretty considerable hiatus from the adult industry. Is that correct?
Yeah, 2 years, moved to Germany,
You moved to Germany.
Where?
That's right.
Where in Germany?
Berlin.
And can we talk about why that is, or not really?
I mean, sure, yeah.
Okay.
We wouldn't have an honest conversation.
I love those.
Yeah.
Why did you move to Germany?
I wanted to retire. I thought that I was just done with porn and that portion of my life, and I was already working as an EMT on an ambulance, like while I was doing porn simultaneously towards the end of my career, just because I wanted to just drift into a different thing, you know, and I loved that. And the whole idea was to move to Germany and start a new life over there, and, you know, get involved in the medical field and continue on. And like 3 months after we moved, I got real sick. I got an autoimmune disease, ulcerative colitis. It's like a stomach thing, you know, intestinal disease. And I got really sick, like really, really sick. I thought I was going to die.
Fuck.
And, yeah, I mean, we were over there for like a year, and then it was like midwinter and snow and rain is blowing at 0 degrees sideways, and I'm like, I think we need to go back to California.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna get well here, you know. This isn't my people. This isn't my place.
Are we allowed to discuss the we you're talking about?
My wife,
Yeah. Okay.
and my son.
Yeah.
I don't talk about them too much, just because I keep it to like a person. I am married. I do have a son, and it's not too hard to find out for anybody that wanted to do like a deep dive on the internet. You know, there was like that talked about a long time ago, but yeah,
well, I mean, I feel like if I'm not mistaken, and we can edit this out if you're not comfortable, but I feel like I've seen her post some stuff with the two of you together, and you're both Wildes.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah. Bella Wilde, yeah.
Bella Wilde.
Yeah,
I met her. She's super sweet.
I have one of my
my number one.
favorite stories ever on set during doing porn was when I think we did our first scene together. This was like 2014 or 2015. And you were in the room like doing your thing at the Armory for getting photos taken, and I was in the green room just waiting around. And and this was after our date. This is after you'd already told her about me, and she popped her head in the room, pregnant as all hell. And she was like, "Oh my God, I'm so excited to meet you!" And I was like, "What? Get over here!" We gave each other a hug. She was like, "What's going on? How's he doing?" I was like, "He's beating the crap out of me." And she was like, I can't wait to see it. Okay, well, I gotta go. I'm gonna go say hi to him, and I gotta go. And she left, and I kind of was like, "What the fuck? Like, this exists?"
She's a whirlwind.
But like that was 2015. Like before, I know we're getting back into like, you know, identity stuff. We don't have to talk about it in those terms, but in 2015, it was just so refreshing to see a man and a woman who are married and love each other, but
So
are like,
open.
fuck yeah. Not just like, I'll allow it, but like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. That's how we want
Has it always been like that between you guys?
No, I mean, yes and no. That's how we hope it operates.
Yeah.
That's not how it always operates.
Uh-huh.
If that makes
Yeah,
sense.
what challenges do you find?
Same as anyone.
Yeah.
Same as anyone. I mean, most of the time work stuff is fine, but we also are open in our personal life. And when things come up personal, you know, you have challenges.
Yeah.
You know, but we've been married for this will be our 13th year. Yeah.
And how old is your boy?
Yeah, he'll be 10.
He'll be 10.
Yeah.
Oh wow, so he was born in 2014. Damn, that's right. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I have a nephew that I contributed to, and we were pregnant at the same time.
That's right.
Because I have a lesbian sister and her wife.
Oh, that's
and
why you guys connected.
So-
You were
so
like,
yeah, it was-
like soon to be daddies.
they were pregnant at the same time, so we
Yeah.
like talked about that a lot, and it was very sweet.
So the transition for me over to daddy became very easy.
Yeah.
In the home, I very quickly became daddy.
Yeah,
And it was,
That's
you know,
so cool.
Hey, daddy, 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 daddy.
does he
daddy,
call you daddy?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. He calls me daddy. My wife calls me daddy. Everybody calls me daddy.
Hell yeah, we're all gonna call you daddy now.
I like it.
Yeah.
I feel like it fits.
I feel like it was kind of it was part of your rebrand, sort of. Like you sort of
Yeah.
like, you're like, okay, I'm back in the industry and now I'm Daddy Wilde. I mean, it's your Twitter handle.
Daddy
like,
Wilde X.
Yeah, Daddy Wilde X is his
I can't
X
tell you
handle.
how many times I've met guys in their 60s and
they
they've
still
called me daddy.
Fuck yeah.
And in my 20s, like especially in my late 20s, I was like, oh, this has nothing to do with age. This has
Totally.
everything to do with energy.
Yep.
And
It's a state of mind.
somebody who's 67 years old was once 9 years old. And they were once a child. And so many of us grow up with mommy issues or daddy issues.
Yeah.
And I think that it's a valuable place to have somebody in your life that you like. We joke all the time, like the daddy thing is, again, like the alpha thing, been kind of commandeered and stolen and rebranded a few times.
Sure.
But people need authentic male figures in their life who they respect, who they look up to, who they can talk to, who they feel safe and secure around. Like all of us, everybody sitting in this room needs that.
Definitely.
And when I can be that for somebody, I feel like I can do it without much problem, I enjoy that. I enjoy being somebody who's like, you know, hey, you're going to be all right, sport. You know, you're going to be all right, Tiger. I got you. Come here and give me a hug.
Isn't
I
that
love
funny?
the feeling that I get from seeing the satisfaction of somebody when they come into me and they feel that, like, that protection.
Yeah,
And like,
it's-
I've got you and you're going to be okay. Life's going to be all right. We're going to make it through this. I'm not going to let anybody get to you, you know. Like, to have that feeling feels so good and warm and nice that, like, I can give that to people.
And channel it in a way that is not shameful or weird,
Exactly.
for sure.
Exactly.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's really beautiful.
And not to mention, like, you know, as safe and wonderful and warm as it feels, what is it about it that makes my fucking whole quiver at the same time?
Did you?
I love that.
Psychology, baby.
Were
I
you
love that.
close? Were you close with your parents?
I had a good childhood. I still do. You know, I still have a good relationship with both my mother and my father. Very fortunate.
Nice. They're still together.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Cool.
That was, I mean, that's, you know, my best friend grew up homeless, drug addicted parents, lots of abuse, fighting for food, you know, lots of crazy situations on a regular basis. So
Right.
when I say that my parents got divorced when I was 4, I consider myself like very lucky.
Yeah,
as
for
far
sure.
as my childhood,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm very much in the idea of using the concept of daddy to heal people and to like make people feel better about the relationships that they used to. I do it with my best friend all the time. Like, we literally just a few days ago, we're having a conversation where I was preaching at him. I said, you are not the product of your parents.
Yeah.
You are a man who stands on your own 2 feet, and you have value, and you are worth love, and you are worth caring about, and you have a place. You know, you've made my life better as a result of being in it. And I think that people need to hear that shit. Like, people need to hear authentic conversations like that, especially when you've had an upbringing like some of us have. You know,
Totally.
some people go through their whole, like, if you get repeated over and over again, like a fucking broken record, that you're not worth it.
Yep.
That you're not worth love, that you don't have
Or
any
that it's
value,
conditional, or
that it's conditional.
Yeah.
You know, people
Wow.
need to shake that shit out. I'm here
Yeah.
to shake that shit out.
We need to tell each other that we mean something.
Yeah. Yes,
I mean,
you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
That
you
you matter.
the second that somebody's out of your fucking life, that's all you can think is, why didn't I tell them more? Why didn't I express? You know, and then we hold back when we think about that. We think, yeah, I should say that, but I'm going to hold that back because of fear.
Yeah.
Because I'm afraid that if I say that, maybe it won't be reciprocated, or maybe they'll look at me differently, or they'll think of me like I'm weaker or something like that. Fuck it. I let loose. I love you. I need you. I love you in my life. I let people know.
Amazing.
Because I'm not here for, I don't have the time. Back to the time subject. My time is my most valuable thing. I'm here today because I want to be, not because of money, not because of, promotion or whatever the fuck. I don't care about any of that stuff. My time is my most valuable asset, and I'm here because I want to be. And if I'm not doing that in my day, chances are you won't find me doing that.
Right. Well, thank you for sharing your time with us.
Yeah, 100%. I love you guys to
No,
death.
you have a great message.
Yeah, everyone should listen. And honestly, like, your son is so lucky to have you. That's beautiful. May all fathers parent their children that way in this weird time we live in. When you came back from your break with this Daddy Rebrand, was it an easy decision, or were you a little bit like, oh fuck, here we go, we gotta do this again?
No, I mean, it actually was very almost divinely inspired.
Really?
Because my wife was the sole bread. I couldn't work. I mean, I was at home. I couldn't keep my head up off of the off of the back of the couch. I was so weak. I was 155 pounds.
Wow.
I was, shitting blood 20 times a day.
Oh my God.
It was not good, fellas.
Oof.
And so my wife was the one making all the money, and I was like, what am I gonna do? And then finally, I started a medication that started to allow me to get better. But it was still like, I can't go sit in an ambulance for 12 hours, 15 hours. There's no way. Like, I'm just still getting better right now. What can I do to contribute? What can I do to make money? Maybe I'll jump back on webcam. I could do webcam from home. That's no sweat. I can do a little webcam show here and there. So I started webcamming December 2019.
Okay.
And then people are like, start an OnlyFans, start an OnlyFans, start an OnlyFans. I was like, OnlyFans? I think I heard of that right before I left. Wasn't that a thing they were starting on? Check in on the OnlyFans, and I was like,
Yeah.
I guess I could do that. Start the OnlyFans like February 2020.
You're like all set
right.
to go.
March
for
comes.
COVID.
Boom.
Yeah.
My wife loses her
Lockdown.
job,
Fuck.
and we fucking swap, and I start making the money.
Wow.
And I was like, this is perfect.
And was that mostly with solo stuff?
It was all solo stuff.
Yeah.
The first 6 months of my OnlyFans was all solo stuff.
Wow.
I was trying. I was like, man, how can I get out and make something happen where we're not going to all die? Little did we fucking know,
Right. Were you still camming as well?
Yeah.
What website were you using for that? Chatterbait. That's right. We did a Chatterbait scene once together. Okay, cool. Yeah. OnlyFans. What a weird little lifesaver, huh?
Yeah.
Like, I started it a long time ago in like 2017 when it kind of just started getting off the ground. But it's so fascinating to me that when the pandemic happened and lockdown happened and so many people couldn't work anymore, here,
That's
right
when I
here, Mr.
started.
Connor was a
I'm
pandemic
a COVID
porn star.
Yeah.
I mean, you and so many others.
What's really interesting, though, is to see the wave of that going back out.
Explain what you mean.
Like,
People giving up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh,
Good.
I'll just start an OnlyFans.
Good.
Oh, I'll
Get the
just start
fuck
an
out.
OnlyFans. Oh, I'll just start an OnlyFans, and that'll make me tons of money.
Yeah.
Fat fucking chance. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Right.
I wish you all the best. You think
Yes.
you're just going to step into this fucking market and kill it? Good luck. You think it's like that?
So
No.
Are
And
you
now people are
speaking-
realizing that, and they're going, shit, I actually need a real job because this is a real job.
It is, yeah.
And if you don't
Totally.
treat this like a real job, you starve.
Yeah.
Unless you're like the top, you ain't got to do shit all because you look the way that you look, But that's rare.
Yeah.
Most of us don't look like that,
Right.
Or most of us don't have that thing. You need some sort of grind at this job, and people realize that, and they go, fuck, I need to go out and get a bank job again or something.
Well, I feel really like I feel really resentful of a lot of these like Instagram hotties that like just decided they're like, you know what, actually, like I have 100,000 followers.
Might as well start one.
If even 10%
Or
of
a
them
million.
want to see me naked, or even 1 million, yeah, and they get on there and they charge like more than most of us. And it's literally like 8-second clips of them like teasing their dick, or just like super glossy photos of them.
How do you know that, though?
I know.
Have you
I ain't looking up.
subscribed?
No, I've subscribed to like maybe a
I've
couple of them.
subscribed to some
Yeah,
people
but not.
that
That's why they're.
and I'm
I don't
like,
hate.
huh.
I don't hate their game.
I don't know.
Like if that's
I'm
how
not
you want
into
to do it, and I'm not either. That's why I don't do it.
Yeah.
I'm into giving my fans and the people who support me an authentic experience.
Yeah.
And I want to provide them with that. If somebody else does, there's scammers all over the world. I can't
Totally,
get
that's
fucking
true.
mad at people
That's
scamming.
true. You're right.
You know what I mean? Do your thing. If people are dumb enough to pay you $50 for your short little 8-second clip, then
Yeah.
fucking get your money.
Right.
Get it, baby.
But I
But
don't
I'm not
like
gonna be one
feeling
of those
duped
people.
like that, because like there have
100%.
been a couple times when I've subscribed to somebody being like, I want to see more of this motherfucker.
But that also makes you go back to the people that you go, I know what I'm getting. I know the quality content that I'm getting
Yeah.
every single time. So I'm going back to this guy.
Right.
Like
Right.
why try to be mad about something when I'm getting something good over here?
Well, considering the work element of it, how often would you say you spend A, shooting per week, and B, spending time on the website doing the office part of it?
Not nearly enough. I mean, thank God for my wife. We're a business. She is the backside of my business.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, 100%.
Nice. I'm always jealous of people with a second half to do the.
Yeah.
Does she make content
Yeah.
still?
And I'm terrible at it. No.
Okay.
I'm terrible at that stuff. Like
Yeah.
anything computer related, any problem. It's not like I'm illiterate, but when I come across something that I have to troubleshoot, I'm like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah.
And I quit immediately. So she takes care of a lot of that stuff.
Gotta watch a lot of YouTube videos.
Yeah.
How to fucking do stuff.
Yeah, I can't do that. It's not. I should be dedicating a lot more of my time.
Sure.
But again, what would I be dedicating my time to that for?
Right.
For more money and more success? Don't need it.
Right.
I've been in this business for 15 years. I've been in the fucking gay VNs dozens of times. Like, you know what I mean? I've seen the top of the top
Right.
every year for a long time. And I'm super happy right here in the middle, just making my little way.
You're above the middle, I would say. But
I mean, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? The main point is it doesn't matter.
Sure.
Like being at the top is not. I admire people that want to be there, or I respect the desire to be at the top, and you want that level of success for whatever fulfillment. I don't have it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I just
Same.
I'm here for a good time.
Yeah.
No, it's nice because like it's nice to hear this from you. It's a good time for me to hear this from you because I struggle with like being competitive and like wanting more and wanting
can't always be the
better,
best.
and I'm like, God damn it!
You can't.
Like,
You can't always be
so,
at the top.
Yeah, it's like I go back and forth, but and like things will upset me, or
Yeah.
piss me off when I see I don't know.
Yeah, no. It's true. Like the thing is, you have to have kind of a very, very like.
You need to worry about
You need a
yourself.
strong stomach.
Yeah.
You need good emotional wherewithal to handle this
You're
stuff.
in competition with you.
You,
Yes.
yeah.
But
That's
a lot
it.
of people in this industry don't realize that. And I've seen it bring grown ass men down.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, I don't have nearly the followers I think either of you have. And I've never really cared about that. I like reaching the people that I reach. Sometimes it hurts when I see like some dudes I want to film with, like ignore my messages and film with people that,
It happens
you know,
to all of us.
I think are more attractive than, but also
It happens
who
to
cares?
all of
It
us,
happens to
though.
all of us. But
it's
I've
not anything unique to you.
But
It's
I've
not
heard
like
other
everybody-
performers freak the fuck out about
Yes.
that.
Yes, they will. Yes, they will.
And it's like we need to be a little bit more secure with ourselves
And give people a
realize-
charitable point of view.
Totally.
You know, maybe their dog just fucking died or something. Like,
Or
leave
maybe,
them alone.
Or
They
maybe
don't
you're
want to
just not
respond
their
to your-
flavor,
Yeah.
which is totally okay.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
I'm
Or they're not into
It
you,
hurts.
and that's
Yeah.
fine too.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm guilty of that same action. Of being
Same.
Like, nah, no
Yeah,
thanks.
yeah,
yeah.
Delete.
Of course, we all do it.
We all do it, and
so
it's all been
why
done
would
to
we
us.
get upset when it's done to us? Like we do it. It just
Totally.
goes around. It's like
Yeah.
I hope nobody is in the position where they just only get rejected.
Yeah, of course.
But
Before we wrap up, I just want to ask you, what are you looking forward to, near or long term, however you want to answer that? Oh, I stumped him.
he's so thoughtful. Like he wants he's taking it seriously before he answers.
Of course.
Yeah. I know.
He's evolved. He's daddy now.
He is.
Daddy's gonna give us the right answer.
I'm just looking forward to getting better.
Yeah.
Like that's mainly the goal is to just wake up and do things that like maybe 1% better than you did them yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, and keeping that attitude going consistently.
Best daddy ever. That's awesome. Well, we have your Twitter up there, your X, sorry, but people can also find you at your website.
It's
what is
Twitter.
your website?
Fuck Elon. ChristianWilde.com.
Christian Wilde with an E.
With an E.
.com.
Yeah,
I looked at it today. It's legit.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, beautiful work.
I have a couple of scenes of yours that are in my favorited scenes.
Yeah,
that
he's
I
a
go
great
to.
performer.
Into the Wild.
Oh,
Into the Wild.
Into the Wild.
Which scene though?
There's
Philip
one,
Aubrey?
There's one where I
Philip
don't
Aubrey?
remember who the.
I'll tell you what.
I
fucked.
it's a three-way.
I remember that scene. I don't remember a lot of scenes.
Oh my God.
Between Philip Aubrey and me in Into the Wild, we were fucking off camera for like a while.
Like on the set.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
Now,
That's
They
so
were like,
hot.
"All right, guys, thanks," and we're like,
Yeah.
like,
Chemistry,
"We don't
baby.
even fucking hear you anymore."
That's amazing.
It was
The one I'm thinking about is a three-way, and it's like you and I don't remember the names of the other two guys, but it's like you and another hot guy were like spit roasting this, like standing up, this kind of
That's
kind of like
Connor McGuire.
twonky guy.
Oh, Connor McGuire.
Yes,
Connor McGuire.
yeah.
Oh God,
Yeah,
legend.
and you guys come on his face like so much. It's so hot.
So that guy that we fucked I follow him on Twitter, and he's like a faceless account now, and his body is insane. And I'm
Yeah.
trying to get him to come back into porn because he is fucking
Amazing.
so delicious.
I gotta look this up. Wow, Into the Wild.
Yeah.
Was that a Falcon scene or a Raging
Naked Sword.
scene? Oh, Naked Sword.
Yeah,
Nice.
that was when I was a Naked Sword exclusive.
Sweet. I didn't know you were Naked Sword exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I won Grabby's Best Actor that year for that very video.
For Into the Wild.
Or I think it was it was Wild Road.
Oh, okay. I
Another
was gonna
best
say-
actor winner.
Yeah,
Hey.
that's the shit that counts. Fuck having hot as dick. You didn't do anything for that.
Yeah. I actually
we were
fucking
born with
acted.
that. We acted.
The only Gavian I've ever won was Favorite Daddy. And it felt real nice. I mean, like, and I said the same thing when I accepted it. I was just like, I thought I was more of a big bro or an uncle, but honestly, Daddy's a state of mind, and this is a huge compliment. Thank you very much. So, but anyway, thank you so much for joining us and coming all the way over here from Las Vegas.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Hey, you want to get together later?
You guys.
You know, I think I might be free.
I think I might be free too. Well, how about y'all stay tuned for what we get up to? I think, yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Christian, for joining us.
My pleasure.
Thank you for listening at home. I'm Adam Ramzi.
I'm Cole Connor, and this is Sorry for Asking.
Sorry for asking.
This has been Sorry for Asking. Be sure to like, comment, and
amazing.
subscribe. And until next time, stay sexy.